Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. Today I got something really special. A friend of mine, James, sent over a watch that he designed and manufactured in a limited run, if you will, the Exciton II. But before we get into that, I want to talk about Convoy. Convoy sent over their watch rolls, and honestly, hands down, I'm not lying. These are the best watch rolls I have ever handled. This is real Italian leather. As a matter of fact, they even send the little official certificate that it says it's made in Italy and everything. And honestly, for the price sub $200, these are some of the best. This is a 3 watch roll, and this is a 4 watch roll holder, if you will. Everything from the buckle, the construction of the inside and the outside is very well done. Obviously, just like any leather, you need to kind of play with it a little bit and then get it real supple. So obviously I'm in the process of doing that, but I cannot wait until I could fit some of my dive watches. Right now I just have a lot of my dress watches in here, but I have some images of them on my Instagram account. Go check them out. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate if you do. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for almost 3 years, so it's been a long journey, but I am happy. I've made a ton of friends, and thank you so much for stopping by. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this review.
So a few years ago, James and Gary met up, and Gary, in case you don't know, he runs the YouTube channel I Like Watches and I Like Watches Too, and James is actually one of his viewers. So James reached out to him as a fan and said, "Hey, I like your work, and I have this really cool design for a watch that I want to send you. Are you interested?" Yeah, Gary agreed. And long story short, they made a limited run of a few watches. That was the Exciton one, and it sold out. It sold on Gary's channel. So fast forward a couple of years, and they came out with the Exciton 2. We had the pleasure of speaking to the guys on the podcast.
Everything in this watch, all the angles, all the tolerances are set pretty much by me.
That's
So
crazy.
at the very beginning, when you're talking about engineering costs, basically all of that is waived because I'm doing this for free.
Now, James actually is an engineer, a really smart guy, and he designed this entire watch. So, real quick, let's get into some of the specs of this watch. The case does measure in at 38 millimeters, it's 10.7 millimeters thick, and it only comes in at 44 millimeters from lug to lug. The lugs are 20 millimeters wide, and it does feature drill lugs on the case. It has a water resistance of 200 meters. Of course, it's sapphire crystal with AR coating and plenty luminova, the BGW9. The movement they used on this is the Miyota 9015, which of course beats at 28,800 BPH. So one of the things that I really wanted to talk about was just the unique design of the watch. I appreciate when micro brands go out of the way to design something different and not just kind of follow the trends. They did partner up with a company called Chronos, and I could tell you that the quality on this is really well done. Now, unfortunately, if you want to buy some, they're sold out, but this watch actually sold for less than $300, and to me that is incredible value. Quickly, let's get into that dial. The dial is this black textured dial with their logo at the 12 o'clock, and at the 6 o'clock we do find the word Exciton 2 in this really cool purple color, and just below it the words are printed 200 meters. We do find some numerals, 12, 6, and 9, and some really nice indices. At the right hand, we find a framed date window. And that second hand to me is pretty cool because the tip of it plays in with the color of the word Excitant 2, which is purple, and it almost resembles a dagger right towards the end. It has this counterbalance, if you will. Moving on to the bezel, they do provide us with this really nice steel bezel, which by the way has lume on it. 120 clicks, very satisfying to click. A little bit, just a little bit of backplate, but it does line up at the 12 o'clock. Pretty well executed. As far as the whole watch goes, it's all brush. I don't see any other finishing aside from brushing here. And I like that. It's a very kind of industrial design, yet it plays with the light very well, and it's extremely wearable. Like I said, it only comes in like at, you know, 44 millimeters, so it really wears well on my 6 and 7/8 inch wrist. On the right hand side, of course, we do find a screw down crown that's been signed with their logo. It's pretty nicely executed. We do find a little bit of polishing there, and the other polishing we do find is on that bezel. And one of the things that really impressed me about this watch, and my breath was taken away, if you will, was the bracelet. Just the articulation and the way that it plays with the light is beautiful. It really reminds me a little bit of an AP Royal Oak bracelet. I know James is extremely proud of this bracelet, as he's the one that pretty much created it, designed it. And this is not an off-the-shelf bracelet.
Then if you're wondering, oh, but if it has flat tops, it's going to be really uncomfortable on the bottom. Don't worry about that, because on the bottom these links are curved, and they're curved in a way
Oh
so
my God.
it feels very fluid on your wrist.
We do find a milled clasp, and the deploying buckle with the two buttons there has been signed with the J and G logo. The bracelet does utilize screws to size it, and it's very, very comfortable. One of the most comfortable bracelets that I've had an opportunity to handle, especially from a micro brand. Something interesting to note as well is the case back. If you notice a bunch of weird looking numbers, these are actual equations. So James is a scientist. He's a smart guy. Let's just put it that way.
So this graph over here is a reaction progress diagram. And this basically means that the starting reactants have a higher energy than the products, and this is the activation energy barrier. So in graduate school, there were some days that were just really, really difficult for me, and I wanted to procrastinate. But I just drew this diagram on a sheet of paper, and I knew that if I put in the work, I could overcome this really stressful barrier, and I can be at a happier state at the very end.
Overall, I think this watch is a good looking watch. It's an extremely wearable watch. Unfortunately, you can't buy them, but I wanted to thank the guys, because after having them on the podcast, they sent a free watch to my friend P. Ross and myself as a thank you, and I do truly appreciate that. Before I let you go, let me show you a loom shot. Incredible loom that they put on this. It looks really pretty. It looks pretty cool. They do have it on the applied indices, the hands, the date window, which is pretty cool, and the bezel as well, as previously mentioned. So overall, like I said, this is a good watch. Keep your eye out. I'll leave a link to Gary's channel below, so you can go support him. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep bringing more watches, maybe an Exciton 3 or a different model. Who knows?
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this watch. Let me know what you think about micro brands in general. I think personally they offer a ton of value, and also make you part of this kind of exclusive club, and I love that. I really do love that. And James, Gary, thank you so much for sending this in. Congratulations on this beautiful watch, and being able to I don't know, give the community such a beautiful, wonderfully constructed watch for less than $300. I mean, it's amazing, and hopefully this is a lesson for the bigger brands. But anyways, my friends, as always, thank you so much. Take care and stay humble.